And what about the hangar there?
The hangar's roofs all came off.
But is it insured or is
They-
it city owns
The
it?
city owns it, so the city, and I went and had an interview, it's on, I don't have it on the iPad slideshow, since we don't have time for everything.
No.
But she was adamant, the Corinne, the airport administrator, was adamant that City of Mesa is proud of those hangars, it's part of their history, and they will rebuild. And she was emotional when she was there that night, and that was the first place she went after the runways made sure they were open. She went to the hangars to see that they're still there. Most of them was. The roof is gone.
They're mendable, that's what
Yes, they are, and the structure damage is very low. And the next day, they had engineers and architects there, and people cleaning up. So I was very happy that. So it is good news that the hangars will stay.
Good, excellent. Thanks, Scott.
You're welcome.
And
Nystrom, I'm the airport director here at Falcon Field Airport. And on the evening of September 12th, we had a very large storm event here at Falcon Field. It came through very quickly, not a lot of time for those of us who are still here to shelter in place, which we did because of the magnitude of the winds and the rain and the thunder and the lightning. The storm lasted for about 20 minutes or so, and then when I came out of where I was sheltering in place, I hopped in the airport vehicle and went out and to survey the damage, and was really taken aback by the amount of force that came through this airport in such a short period of time. First thing that I did was contact a couple of operations people, and they came in. We checked the runways, made sure the runways were in good condition, which they were. And so the reality of it is we actually never shut down the airport. The airport remained open. But as we drove around on the ramp areas, the number of aircraft that were turned over, number of aircraft that had been blown into each other, number of aircraft that had blown into hangars was something that I'd never experienced in my 37 years in airport management. As far as the World War II hangars, of course, that was one of the first places that I wanted to go to be sure that the hangars were still intact. And the good news is that they are still intact. The structural damage to the World War II hangars, both of them, is very, very minimal and easily repairable. The main thing that happened is that the roof completely blew off of the East World War II hangar, and a large portion of the roof on the West World War II hangar also blew off. Prognosis, we're gonna fix them. We're gonna repair them. They've already cleaned up all of the debris, and the structural engineers have come in to identify anything structurally that they feel they might want to address, which is very minimal. The structures themselves held up very, very well. And they are in the process of working on the design for the roof replacement. So we're going to rise up from the storm, and those two hangars are going to be back in business just as quickly as we can, because that is part of who Falcon Field is. That's our history. That's our roots, and we want to preserve those for future generations to help them to understand the sacrifice that the Royal Air Force cadets who trained at Falcon Field, the sacrifice that they made to preserve our freedom, the freedoms that we have today. And we never, ever want to forget what they did. And those hangars exemplify for us here in Mesa, Arizona, the courage and the will to overcome the greatest of odds and circumstances in which they were ultimately placed.